Welcome to Smart English Coach Podcast.
Let's improve your fluency together, one real conversation at a time.
Hey, welcome back. You're listening to your English Conversation Podcast, where we talk about real life in real English so you can learn naturally just by listening. I'm Michael.
And I'm Sarah. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. You picked a really good day to join us.
You really did. Because today, we're talking about something that every single English learner has experienced. Every single one.
Everyone? That's a big statement, Michael.
It is, but I'm confident. Sarah, have you ever started learning something? A language, a skill, a habit, and then just stopped?
Oh, wow. You're going straight for it, huh?
I'm going straight for it.
Okay. Yes, absolutely yes. 100% yes. I have stopped learning things so many times in my life.
Same. And today, we're going to talk about why that happens. Why do people quit learning English? Why do we quit in general? And most importantly, how do we stop quitting and actually keep going?
And look, before you think this is going to be some kind of motivational speech where we say, believe in yourself and never give up.
It's not that.
It's really not that. We're going to have an honest, real conversation about this because the truth is, quitting is normal, but understanding why you quit, that's where things get interesting.
Exactly. So stay with us. This conversation is going to be really useful, especially if you're someone who has started and stopped learning English more than once.
Which, honestly, is most people. So you're in good company.
You really are. All right, let's get into it.
Okay, Michael. I want to start with something that I think people don't say out loud enough. Quitting isn't always a bad thing.
Oh, interesting. Say more.
Well, think about it. Sometimes you start something and you realize, actually, this isn't for me. Maybe you tried learning to play the guitar and you realized, you know what, I don't actually enjoy this. Quitting that isn't a failure. It's just self-awareness.
Right, that's a good point. There's a difference between quitting something because you genuinely don't want it and quitting something because it got hard or because life got in the way or because you lost momentum.
Exactly. And for English learners, most people who quit, they don't quit because they don't want to speak English. They quit because something got in the way. And those are very different situations.
I like that distinction. So let me ask you this. What do you think is the number one reason people quit learning English?
I think they lose the feeling of progress.
Interesting.
Like at the beginning, you learn your first 10 words, your first phrases. You can say, hello, how are you, my name is, and it feels amazing. Like, wow, I'm doing it. I'm learning English.
That beginner's high, right?
Yes, the beginner's high. I love that expression. But then after a few weeks or a few months, it gets harder. The progress slows down. You don't feel that same rush of excitement. And that's when people start to drift.
They drift. I love that word in this context. To drift means you don't make a dramatic decision to quit. You just slowly stop. You miss one day of practice, then 2 days, then a week. And before you know it, you haven't studied for a month.
And the worst part is you feel guilty about it. But the guilt doesn't actually make you start again. It just makes you feel bad.
That's so real. You feel guilty, and then because you feel guilty, it's actually harder to go back. Because now it's not just, I need to study English. It's, I need to study English and deal with the fact that I stopped for 3 months.
Right. It feels like too much, so you just avoid it.
You avoid it. Great word. To avoid something means to stay away from it, to not face it. Learners, write that down. To avoid. She avoided looking at her English app because she felt guilty. That's a sentence you could use in real life.
I'm guilty of that. Very guilty of that.
We all are.
Okay, so let's break this down. Let's talk about the most common reasons people quit English. And Sarah, I want you to be honest here. No filter.
No filter? Okay, you asked for it.
I ask for it.
Reason number 1, and I believe this is huge, is that people set unrealistic goals.
Oh, yes. Tell me more.
So someone decides, I want to be fluent in English in 3 months. And they start with this incredible motivation. They study every day, 2 hours, 3 hours. They download 5 apps. They buy a textbook. They make flashcards. They are on fire.
They're on fire, meaning they're full of energy and motivation. I love that expression.
And then week 3. They're tired, work is busy, life is busy, and they can't keep up the same pace. They can't maintain that same level of intensity. and they feel like they're failing because they set this impossible standard for themselves.
Right. And the goal, fluent in 3 months, that goal was never realistic to begin with. So they were always going to feel like they were failing, even if they were actually making progress.
Exactly. The goal was the problem, not the person.
That's a really important thing to say. The goal was the problem, not the person.
And so what happens? They burn out. To burn out means you work so hard, so intensely that you exhaust yourself completely, and then you have nothing left.
Burn out. That's a great phrasal verb. I burned out after 3 weeks of studying. Very natural, very real.
Very real.
Okay, what's reason number 2?
Reason number 2, they're studying the wrong way for them.
Oh, this is interesting.
Look, not everyone learns the same way. Some people are great with grammar books. They like structure, they like rules, they want to understand how the language works technically. And that's great if that's how your brain works.
But not everyone's brain works like that.
Not at all. Some people learn much better through conversation, through listening, through watching videos, through reading stories. And if you force yourself to study in a way that doesn't suit you, you're going to hate it. And if you hate it, you're going to quit.
That's such a good point. I think a lot of people believe that to learn English properly, you have to sit at a desk with a grammar book and take notes. And if that bores you to tears, meaning if it's incredibly boring.
Force you to tears. I love that.
It's a great expression. That lecture bored me to tears. It means it was so boring it almost made you cry. But the point is, that style of studying isn't the only way. And actually, for many learners, it's not the best way.
Right. For many people, just listening, just immersing yourself in natural English conversation, the way you're doing right now, that is incredibly effective.
Immersing yourself. Beautiful word. To immerse means to put yourself completely into something. Like when you dive into a swimming pool and you're completely surrounded by water, immersed in water. Same idea. You surround yourself completely with English.
And you know what? That's actually what you're doing right now by listening to us. You are immersing yourself in natural English conversation.
Give yourself credit for that. Seriously.
Absolutely. Okay. Reason number 3?
Reason number 3, and this one is very personal for me, is comparison.
Oh, yes, the comparison trap.
The comparison trap. You're making progress. Slowly, steadily, you're getting better. And then you see someone, maybe a friend, maybe someone online who seems to be speaking English perfectly, fluently, confidently. And suddenly, your own progress feels worthless.
Worthless is such a strong word, but that's how it feels, doesn't it?
It does. You think, I've been studying for 6 months and I still make mistakes, but that person seems perfect. What's wrong with me?
And the thing is, you're not seeing the full picture. You don't know how many years that person studied. You don't know how many times they failed. You don't know what's happening behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, great expression. Behind the scenes means what's happening privately, away from what other people can see. Like in a movie. On screen, everything looks smooth, but behind the scenes, it's chaos.
Always chaos.
Always. And comparison is especially toxic, meaning harmful, damaging, on social media. Because people only share their best moments, their best pronunciation, their best conversations. Nobody posts a video of themselves struggling to remember a word.
Nobody posts. Day 47 of learning English. I forgot how to say refrigerator today. Send help.
They don't. And they should, honestly. Because that's real. That's what learning actually looks like.
Beautifully said.
Okay, can I tell a story here?
Please. I love your stories.
Okay, so I have a friend. I'll call her Maria. She's from Brazil. She started learning English about 5 years ago. Really committed, really motivated. She took online classes. She practiced every day. She even changed the language on her phone to English.
Oh, that's commitment. Changing your phone language is no joke.
It's a big deal. And she was making great progress. After about a year, she could have basic conversations. She could watch TV shows with subtitles and understand maybe 60–70%.
That's actually really impressive.
It is. But she didn't feel like it was impressive. And here's where it got complicated. She joined an online English conversation group. And in that group, there were people who had been learning for much longer. People who were already very advanced. And every time she spoke, she was comparing herself to them. Every time she made a mistake, she felt embarrassed.
Oh no.
And instead of seeing those advanced speakers as inspiration, as proof that progress is possible, she saw them as evidence that she wasn't good enough.
That's such a painful way to look at it.
It is. And eventually, she stopped going to the group. And then she stopped practicing. And then she quit for almost 2 years.
2 years. That's a long time.
It is. And then, about a year ago, she came back. And she told me, Michael, I wasted 2 years because I was afraid to be a beginner in front of other people.
Afraid to be a beginner. That's the phrase, isn't it? We're so afraid of looking like we don't know something, of being the worst in the room.
And that fear, that's what kills progress. Not lack of ability, not lack of intelligence, just fear.
How is Maria now?
She's doing really well, actually. She came back with a completely different mindset. She stopped comparing. She just focused on her own progress, comparing herself to who she was last month, not to other people. And it changed everything for her.
That's beautiful. Comparing yourself to your past self, not to others. That is such powerful advice.
It really is.
Hey, quick pause here. If you're enjoying this conversation, if it's helping you practice your English listening, if you feel like Michael and I are having a genuine talk that's useful for you, please hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more learners around the world.
And subscribe if you haven't already. We put out new episodes regularly, and each one is a real conversation. Natural, real English designed to help you improve just by listening. Hit the subscribe button and the bell so you never miss an episode.
Okay, back to the conversation.
All right, let's go a little deeper here, because I think understanding the psychology, meaning understanding how your mind works when you quit, is really important.
I agree. And I think there's something called the motivation habit gap that's really relevant here.
Okay, explain that to me.
So, motivation is that feeling you get when you first decide to do something. It's exciting, you're energized, you think, yes, I'm going to learn English, let's do this.
That initial burst of energy.
Exactly. Initial means at the beginning, and that initial burst of motivation is real. But here's the thing, motivation is not reliable. It comes and goes. Some days you feel motivated, some days you don't. And if you only study English when you feel motivated, you're going to have a very inconsistent learning experience.
Right, because some weeks you'll study 5 days, other weeks 0.
Exactly. And that inconsistency is what prevents real progress. Real progress comes from habit, from doing something regularly, even when you don't feel like it.
Habit is more powerful than motivation. That's the idea.
Absolutely. And the gap between motivation and habit, that's where most people fall. They rely on motivation. Motivation fades, they have nothing left, they quit.
So the goal isn't to feel motivated every day?
No, the goal is to build a system, to make English practice such a normal part of your day that it doesn't require motivation, like brushing your teeth.
I love that comparison. You don't wake up in the morning feeling motivated to brush your teeth. You just do it because it's part of your routine.
Exactly. Routine. That's your word for today, learners. A routine is a set of regular, repeated actions. You have a morning routine, a bedtime routine. The goal is to make English practice part of your routine.
And the beautiful thing is, once it becomes a habit, it actually becomes easier because you're not fighting with yourself every day. You're not saying, should I study today? I don't feel like it. You just do it.
The decision is already made. That's what a habit is, a pre-made decision.
I like that. A pre-made decision, like a pre-cooked meal. All the hard work is done in advance.
Michael, you always bring food into it.
I can't help it. I'm hungry.
Okay, let's be practical now, because I know our listeners want real advice, not just theory. Let's talk about actual things you can do to keep going when you feel like quitting.
Let's do it. Give me number 1.
Number 1, lower the bar.
Ooh, explain that.
So when most people commit to learning English, they set a big, ambitious daily goal. I will study for 1 hour every single day. And on most days, that's too much. Life is busy, you're tired, you can't do an hour.
So what happens?
You skip it because doing 30 minutes when you said you'd do 60 feels like failing. So instead of doing 30 minutes, you do nothing.
Which is such a strange logic, but it's so human.
It's completely human. So the solution? Lower the bar. Tell yourself, my minimum is 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes, that's it. On a good day, you might do 30, 40 minutes, but the minimum, the non-negotiable, is just 10 minutes.
And 10 minutes is always achievable. Even on your worst day, you can find 10 minutes.
Exactly. Even on the bus, even while cooking, even before bed. 10 minutes is nothing, but 10 minutes every day, that's 70 minutes a week. That's almost 5 hours a month. That's real progress.
That adds up more than I expected. Learners, really think about that. A little bit every day, consistently, that is more powerful than a lot occasionally.
Consistency over intensity. Write that down.
Consistency over intensity. Number 2?
Number 2, track your progress visibly.
How do you mean?
Get a calendar, a physical calendar printed out on your wall. And every day that you practice English, even just for 10 minutes, put a big red X on that day.
The X system.
Yes, and after a few days, you have a chain of X's. And the psychological effect, the mental effect of not wanting to break that chain is surprisingly powerful.
You don't want to break the streak.
Exactly. A streak means a continuous series of days. I have a 7-day streak. I can't break it now. That motivation, not wanting to lose your streak, is actually more consistent than the motivation of wanting to improve.
That's kind of funny, but it works.
It really works. And it also gives you evidence. When you feel like you're not improving, you can look at that calendar and say, wait, I have studied for 43 days in a row. Of course I'm improving.
Instead of just going by feeling, which, as we established, is very unreliable.
Very. Okay, number 3.
Number 3, find a reason that actually matters to you.
Oh, this is important.
So many learners study English because they feel like they should, because their boss wants them to, because their parents say it's important, because it's useful professionally.
And those are all valid reasons, but they're external reasons. They come from outside.
Right, and external reasons only carry you so far. When things get hard, when you're tired, when you're busy, when you've had a rough day, external reasons don't have enough power.
So what kind of reason does have enough power?
A personal one, something that really means something to you. Maybe you want to watch your favorite American TV series without subtitles and actually catch every joke. Maybe you want to travel to an English-speaking country and really connect with people there. Maybe you have a friend who speaks English and you want to have deep conversations with them.
Something emotional, something real.
Something that makes you feel something. Because when you feel like quitting, and you will, you need something to hold on to. And my boss thinks it's good for my career is not going to hold you when it's midnight and you're exhausted.
No, it really isn't.
But I want to watch this show I love without missing anything. That might.
So take a moment and really ask yourself, why do I actually want to speak English? What would it mean for my life? What would I do, see, experience, or feel if I could speak English confidently?
That's your anchor. Hold on to that.
Okay, I want to address something that I think is really important. What if you've already quit? What if you've stopped for a month, 6 months, a year? What do you do?
This is such a good question, and I know a lot of listeners are in this situation right now. They quit a while ago and they feel stuck. They want to come back, but they don't know how.
Or they feel too embarrassed to come back. Like, I can't start again now. It's been too long.
Right, and I want to say something directly to those people. It is never too late. It is genuinely never too late. The time has passed anyway. Whether you come back today or next month, that time is gone. The only question is, what do you do from today forward?
From today forward. Not from the beginning. From today.
Exactly. And here's the thing. When you come back after a break, you haven't lost everything. You've actually retained more than you think.
That's true. The brain is remarkable that way. You might feel rusty, meaning a little slow, a little stiff, like a machine that hasn't been used for a while.
Rusty. I love that word. Like metal that's been outside in the rain. It gets rust on it. It still works, but it needs a little cleaning up.
Exactly. And your English after a break might feel rusty, but it comes back faster than it came in the first time because it's still there. It just needs to be reactivated.
Reactivated, like turning on something that was in sleep mode.
Perfect analogy. And the best way to reactivate? Just start again. Simply, quietly, without making a big announcement to yourself that this time will be different. Just put on a podcast, read a few sentences, listen to a song in English. Start small. Start today.
Don't wait until Monday. Don't wait until January 1st. Don't wait until things calm down. Start now.
Because things never calm down, do they?
They really don't. Life is always busy. There's always something going on. The people who succeed at learning English, they don't do it during a perfect, quiet, stress-free period of their life. They do it during life, in between the chaos.
In the cracks of the day.
In the cracks of the day, while commuting, while cooking, while at the gym. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, that's enough.
Michael, can I get a little philosophical here?
Please. I love it when you get philosophical.
Okay, so I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Why do we quit things in general? Not just English, but anything. And I think a lot of it comes down to identity.
Identity. That's deep. Say more.
So when you think of yourself, how do you describe yourself? You might say, I'm a parent, I'm a worker, I'm someone who likes cooking or football or music. Those are parts of your identity.
The way you see yourself.
Right. And if someone who is learning English is not part of your identity, if it's just a thing you're doing, a temporary project, then it's easy to drop it when it gets hard.
Because you can drop a project, but it's harder to drop who you are.
Exactly. So the shift, the real change, happens when you stop thinking of yourself as someone trying to learn English and start thinking of yourself as an English learner, an English speaker in progress.
Oh, that's beautiful. An English speaker in progress. Not a failed student, not a quitter, not someone who is struggling. An English speaker who is currently in the process of growing.
Because that's the truth. Every single person who speaks English fluently today, they were once exactly where you are, struggling with pronunciation, forgetting words, making grammatical mistakes. They were all exactly where you are.
The difference between them and the people who never got there is simply that they kept going.
They kept going. Even when it was boring, even when it was hard, even when they felt stupid, they kept going.
That's it. That's the whole secret. Not talent, not intelligence, not a special memory, just kept going.
I think that's the most honest thing we've said today.
Probably.
Okay, let's do a little recap of some of the great expressions we used today. Michael, run me through them.
All right, first one, the beginner's high. That feeling of excitement and motivation you get when you first start learning something. She was riding the beginner's high for the first 2 weeks.
Beautiful. Next?
To drift, D-R-I-F-T, to slowly stop doing something without making a dramatic decision. He drifted away from his English studies after work got busy.
To burn out. To exhaust yourself completely by working too hard. She burned out after studying 3 hours a day for a month.
To avoid, to stay away from something on purpose. He avoided opening the app because he felt guilty.
To immerse yourself. To surround yourself completely in something. She immersed herself in English by watching TV shows, listening to podcasts, and changing her phone language.
Rusty, when a skill feels slow or stiff after a break. My English felt rusty after 3 months without practice.
Behind the scenes. What's happening privately, away from what others can see. He looks confident online, but behind the scenes, he studies for hours every day.
In the cracks of the day, small, unexpected pockets of time. I practice English in the cracks of the day, on my commute, during lunch, before bed.
From today forward, starting now, moving ahead from this moment, I'm not going to think about the past. From today forward, I'm going to practice a little every day.
Consistency over intensity. Doing something regularly, even a little, is more powerful than doing a lot occasionally. Consistency over intensity.
That might be the most useful phrase we've said today. Say it one more time.
Consistency over intensity.
Perfect.
Okay, before we wrap up, we always like to leave you with some questions to think about. These are things to reflect on, to think deeply about, so you're not just listening passively, you're actually engaging with the ideas.
Because the goal here isn't just listening practice, it's also thinking practice. Thinking in English is one of the most powerful things you can do for your fluency.
First question, why are you learning English? Think about your real reason, not the should reason, your actual personal, emotional reason.
Second question, have you quit before? If yes, what happened? What was the moment or the feeling that made you stop?
And third question, what is one small thing you can do today, right now, to continue your English journey? It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be impressive, just one small thing.
We'd love to hear your answers in the comments. Seriously, write in the comments, tell us your why, tell us what keeps you going, or tell us about a time you quit and came back. Those stories are so valuable, not just for us, but for other learners who are reading the comments and feeling exactly the same way.
You might be the encouragement someone else needs today.
Michael, this was such a good conversation today.
It really was. And I hope, wherever you are, whatever you're doing right now, I hope this conversation made you feel a little less alone in your English journey, because you are not alone. Every single learner struggles. Every single learner has moments of doubt. You are not behind. You are not too old. You are not too busy.
You are exactly where you need to be. And the fact that you're here, listening, practicing, that already means you haven't quit. That means you're still going.
And that deserves real credit.
It really does. Okay, before we go, quick reminder. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend who's learning English, or a friend who quit and needs a gentle push to come back.
A gentle push.
A very gentle, loving push.
We'll be back very soon with another conversation. Until then, keep listening,
Keep practicing, and remember,
A little bit every day.
is more than enough.
See you next time.
Take care, everyone.